Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? I am Gabriella, and this is GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. Welcome to our next episode where I get to bring to you a brilliant lady that I got to meet recently in networking circles, and she knows her stuff. Oh my goodness. Lisa Rodino, how are you today?
Hello, Gab. I'm doing well. How about you?
I am awesome, especially because I get to talk to you and share you with our audience.
Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and jump right in and have you share with our audience all about your expertise.
Well, I got started in this industry back in the 90s. We started with a residential lending house back in Michigan, but we kind of saw the tip of the iceberg of what happened in 2008. So we put everything on pause, and back in 2016, I got started again, and we decided to go on the business side for funding.
And so today,
we do alternative lending. We help business owners find the funding they need to expand and grow their businesses, and we do our darndest to find the best interest rates and help position those businesses to have great success.
And with your background in finance and real estate and funding and all of that, that's how you wound up becoming an expert in finance and funding.
That is true. I've been doing this a while, so I've learned a lot of the tricks of the trade, and we know how to, get your business positioned so that you will have success when it comes to us putting you before those lenders.
Well, and you and I were talking beforehand, and you even mentioned that you've reached the level of expertise that you teach classes for the Small Business Administration, I believe it is.
That is correct. I have been invited a few times to the Small Business Development Center out of the Stony Brook SBDC, and I have also presented over at the SCORE group in the past as well, out in California.
Oh yeah, SCORE is awesome. I love them, and their whole process of having people who are more seasoned professionals handhold and bring younger, newer startup entrepreneurs through the process.
Right. And to help mentor them, help them understand what steps they should be taking when they are getting started in business, and to find those funding sources sooner rather than later.
Yeah, for sure. So we already kind of started talking about it. Will you please share more about your background that led you down this path to becoming the funding and finance expert that you are?
Well, my original training came out of the medical community. I'm an X-ray tech and radiation therapist by my training. But as I got more advanced in that industry, I became the director of departments. And that took me away from my patients. And I always loved seeing the patients that I would have. So that kind of fizzled out for me. And I decided to go with my husband into our finance industry because I always get a new story every day. And I have clients now that they're not sick, but they may have struggling businesses. And I'm able to support and guide them on their journey to the funding they need to expand and grow their businesses.
That's awesome. I think that that is a really critical thing that a lot of businesses don't know how to deal with. And so often they will just shove all of their savings and everything at the business, and learning how to get funding and finance in a business is really important. And having someone like yourself that can mentor people is really important as well.
Absolutely. And it's amazing. People don't realize what they have available to them when they're going alone. And with us, we can show them all the options that they have available to them. Some folks may have some investments that they want to put into their business. Why pay taxes on it when you can roll it into your business instead of just cash it out? That's a conversation we can have and put you before the experts that can direct and guide you. And then, is your business rocking? Is it doing well? Maybe we can work on getting you to the Small Business Development Center, or get you some unsecured funding so that while you're getting to that point of preparing for the SBA, Let's get you back to bankable, because yes, how many of us have used our personal credit to bootstrap our businesses? That's not the way to grow a business smart. So
Yeah.
we have sources for that as well to help you learn and understand why we take you down a path to bring you good success.
Nice. So speaking of mentors, I always ask our experts about their inspiration, and you had a really fun one. I think that when people are listening to our episodes, knowing where people get their inspiration from helps them to realize they too can become experts. Will you share with us about yours? I really enjoyed what you shared with me earlier.
Well, the family always loves to watch Shark Tank. We've watched it over the years, and listening to Barbara Corcoran has always been inspiring for me, because she helps these business owners have the success they need. And she directs them, helps them to get the capital they need. But sometimes I'm sitting on those sidelines saying, no, don't give up your equity in your business. Come see me. Let's get you the funding the right way. Those are always things that we watch, and we'll cheer for those folks that are getting the funding.
Yeah. And I mentioned to you that in my previous career, I ran a company, and I had a client who actually made it through 3 rounds twice, but didn't actually make it on TV. And it's quite a journey to get on to actually make it to being on TV with that show. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That is cool. Yes.
Hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and say thank you to our sponsors. It is through the generous support of these sponsors that we are able to bring to you these amazing experts that are sharing their best tips for your success. So please listen to what our sponsors have to say, and hopefully they're going to inspire you that you're going to click their links and go support them. You've all heard, and you know how powerful it is to send thank you cards, notes of appreciation, and gifts that build and maintain relationships. However, writing and sending generic impersonal greetings and gifts one by one just is so overwhelming and takes so much time. Not to mention, these days, who wants to deal with lines at the post office, running out of stamps, or having to print stamps yourself? And then there's the embarrassment of missing an important date altogether. Yikes. So what can you do? If you go to marketyourbiz.guru, you will be able to get help with your greetings and gifts that are printed, stamped, stuffed, and mailed automatically for you. Make sure that you tell them Gabriella sent you. Global Prosperity Academy, GPA, is a community of like-minded individuals that are heart-centered and mission-driven, focusing on high-level communication training, leadership development, and strategic community building. Take a look at the video in the link below and see how GPA is right for you. So we have a lot of people, and this is a really great question for you because of who you have a lot of experience working with. And so I want our audience really to pay attention to what you have to share here. We have younger folks who listen to this. We also have people who are pivoting in their career and doing brand new startups like myself. If you were to go back to that younger self, or your younger self, or someone pivoting in their career, what one piece of advice would you give?
One thing to consider when you're looking to secure some financing for your business, and it's an early business, don't give up your day job too soon. Start searching out your funding for your business before you give up your day job, because being able to have a verifiable income will be a make or break point for those lenders. So don't rush out of your day job when you're working on starting your business or your side gig.
And if you are in high school or college, are you going to recommend that they get a regular job and create a credit file and a verifiable history while they're getting ready to start their own business?
Yes, definitely. It's always a great thing to do. Make sure you have a nice income coming in. Be responsible with your funds. Get a couple of those credit accounts in place, being credit cards. Don't abuse them. Always keep your utilization low, but have those accounts there and don't close them so that you're building a profile of a strong personal credit.
Absolutely. And I learned that when I was young as well. I learned it the hard way, and then I learned to be better about it myself. So that would have been great advice for me when I was 22. So
Yeah.
Lisa, I know that, again, you teach at the Small Business Administration and you've taught with SCORE. So you do mentoring and you give people tips for their own success and guidance. So I'm going to ask you if you would please share with our audience now several of your best tips that they can go take action on right now.
Okay, well, a couple of things. When you're working on building your business credit, it is always best that you separate your personal credit from your business credit. All of your business expenses should be on the business side, not your personal side. And we're all guilty of doing it. Over 80% of people that own businesses have utilized their personal accounts.
Can I tell you, in my previous company, because I did accounting, I was meticulous about it. And when everything shut down and I walked away and I got terrible at it. And I know better.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's something that you need to think about, because when you're going after that lending, you need to have an excellent history, because the types of lending that we're getting for these small businesses are unsecured lines. Mm-hmm. They can't claw back at the money if you fail. So let's make sure that you have a good profile in your past so that we can get those lenders to give you the capital you need.
And I'm going to say this, having a background of 30 years doing accounting, if you are commingling on your credit cards, when you're putting it into your bookkeeping books, separate them so that when you're printing out financial statements, it is clear what is personal and what is business. That's one of the things we probably spent 50% of our time dealing with.
And you can do better with your tax returns if you're showing your business expenses. Yeah. That's key.
Absolutely. What other tips would you give somebody who is on their own path to success?
Well, just, have a good character with everything that you do. Keep your personal finances in order and be responsible and be responsive, especially to your clients. Make sure those phones are getting answered. How many folks that have lawn services or home repairs that the folks don't answer the phone, and that's half your business. Or the voicemails are full. Clear your voicemail.
Or if you aren't a phone or voicemail person, make sure all of your clients know how to reach you, that you will respond quickly, right? Because if you're an email person or you're a texting person, make sure they know that that's where they're going to get a 4-hour response time, not a 4-week response time.
Exactly.
I actually had a client who I would send her emails and she said, I don't check my email. So I would have to call her and say, okay, it's time for you to keep an eye on your email for the next 3 weeks because we're going to send you a bunch of back and forth. And she would, because we asked her to. Mm-hmm. But we'd have to call her and say, okay, we're about to go back and forth in email.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. She was awesome, but yeah, when we found out that she didn't hardly ever open her email unless it was something she absolutely knew she needed to. So with your point, make sure that the clients know how to reach you the best way possible.
Absolutely. Yes, that's critical, especially when we're needing to get in touch with them, or even for your business owner, you need your clients to be able to reach you and know how. Yep.
What other tips would you share with our audience before we go ahead and wrap up?
Make sure you have an email address that matches your website. Your URLs need to match. More lenders will put red flags up on businesses that have their own email address that is a free email address. because it has been proven that businesses will fail it more when they're operating with a free email address.
Interesting.
Yep, that will be a ding against your file when you're going before the lenders.
That's really interesting to know. On each episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts, we like to highlight a hero sponsor who is a business that chooses to highlight a do-good organization in their own community that is bettering the world. Today's hero sponsor is...
Hello, I'm Dr. Anna Maria Blevin, founder and CEO of Prosperity Pathways, LLC. We get people their jobs of their dreams. We help them start a business or organization, and we even help them along their career pathway. It gives me great pleasure to bring to your attention and honor the hero of the moment, Onward and Upward. Onward and Upward does everything in its power to help those that are homeless, without jobs, without the use of their own computer, get back on their feet. They help people learn what it is that they need to do to get an online job, to get an on-site job. So Onward and Upward is giving a hand up to those that need it. Their website, onwardupwardinc.org. Get in touch with them if you need their help or if you would like to support them. Again, this is Dr. Anna Maria Blevin, founder and CEO of Prosperity Pathways, wishing you a blessed day.
I know you have tons more information to share with people. You've even written several ebooks about that and what you do. So I know that we're going to tell everybody where they can find your ebooks. But before that, will you please share with us how they can contact you so that they can find out more information? Again, I know you do the SBA, and maybe I think you sometimes do online versions where people all over the country can come and learn from you as well. So how do they get in touch with you on your website and your social media and any other place you'd like them to reach you?
Sure. Well, I can be reached at www.fityoufinance.com. If you do the / to connect, you can get me there. Just fill in the information. Let me know that you saw me on GabTalks. And you can also reach me on LinkedIn. I am Lisa Rodino, LISA RODINO. You'll find me on there, and you'll see me under the Rodino and Associates or Fit You Finance. And I am also on Facebook if you really want to look for me there.
So you guys, the links will be down below. As you know, we always include the links so that you can reach out. And will you tell them about your ebook?
Well, yes, I have an ebook, and we will be sending it to whomever contacts us. And we have an ebook that will go through the tips about preparing yourself for funding. So let's, make sure that you request that. We have some nice pointers to get you ready to go before those lenders to get you some success.
So you guys, we'll make sure that there's a link directly to the ebook so that you can download your own copy, so you know the important key points that you need to have in place before you go in front of a lender, thanks to Lisa and her husband. And make sure you click the links. Do not forget to subscribe. Make sure that you set your reminders so that you know when our next episode is airing. Thank you so much. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.